Huzzah, my friends, and welcome back to Let's Play Twilight Princess Minimalist Run for the Nintendo GameCube. And it's been a while since I've played Twilight Princess from this point of time. Not that it really matters, since I did record 20 episodes earlier, so it's perfectly reasonable. So I can immediately follow this up right after part 30. So again, there's a reason why I did what I did that one day, and alas, it's helped me out quite a bit, and I was able to take a break from doing this sort of thing lately and focus on my fall project, which I have mixed feelings about in terms of how I've done with it lately, but that'll just have to wait and see until I can check it over one last time and see if I'm happy with it in the long run or not. But from what I remember, we did use Uku's son or whatever to warp outside the dungeon. So, yeah. Also, I kind of know what to do a little bit from here on because I tried to record this episode earlier, but I had to go and update my drivers because, like, the audio for the original footage of this was a mess. And, you guys know the drill. I've been having computer audio issues lately, and they've been rather annoying as of late. And hopefully, with the bajillion tests I have done beforehand, this will be the last time I ever have to do such a thing, and it better be the last time I do this. Ugh. Because my word, has it been annoying. But, ranting aside, let's grab ourselves a chest of sorts, which probably has our dungeon map. Yeah. Ah. And I actually remember, doing the Lakebed Temple, despite how long it's been since I've last played Twilight Princess. And I actually think it's a bit more enjoyable than either the Water Temple from Ocarina of Time or the Great Bay Temple from Majora's Mask, which the Great Bay Temple, in my opinion, is the absolute worst water dungeon within any Zelda game, except maybe Jabu Jabu's Belly from Oracle of Ages, but yeah. I feel like that even though they still kind of did the whole water level type thing that the other Zelda games had going for them when they did their water dungeons, I feel like that this dungeon does it rather well and in such a unique manner to where it kind of minimalizes unnecessary backtracking. And, like, I don't mind backtracking. It's just that sometimes, like, there are places that can do it to a unnecessary extreme. This dungeon, like, I feel like as long as you look for the little things here and there, I mean, you have no reason to, like, have to look over something again unless it's like a bonus little something, like a piece of heart, for example. Because, like, basically what it is that you go to different portions of the temple and you turn on, like, the water spackets, or, like, the little water, like, levers or something. It's hard to explain, but essentially the reason why the flooring is like this is because whenever you turn the water on somewhere, the water will flow into these little things right here and affect, like, other rooms of the dungeon. And in order to, like, affect it to where it goes somewhere else, you move around this stairway, in which I kind of like. It's a very different take on water dungeons. It still keeps the central concept of water level raising or lowering, but in a completely different manner. I just feel like as a whole, like, Twilight Princess's best department was most definitely the dungeons. Amongst, like, some of the best dungeons within the entire franchise, in my opinion. From a puzzle standpoint, anyway. But, with our Keegan in tow, let's go ahead and move on. And I apologize if anybody hears hammering or drilling in the background. Below me, there are people installing some cabinets, and I hope my mic doesn't pick it up too well. Uh, Seriously, I hate it when my mic picks up unwanted noises. Like that, for example. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and find out. I don't think it should be too loud though, because I know when I did that little Mega Man Marathon announcement video, which is the project I'm doing for the fall. Well, when I said summer project earlier, like, I meant, like, the fall project, my bad. But it's a project I'm working on in the summer, that's why I mixed it up. But, like, I noticed that when I went back and watched that video, I had noticed that you could hear, like, the drills in the background a little bit, which wasn't too bad, so I don't know. Again, we'll just have to wait and find out. It's so crazy though. I feel like every time I like go back and watch my videos, whenever I go back and edit them, I catch myself hearing me say things that I didn't think I'd say, and it just sort of happens. I really hate that. Like, I seriously do, because I don't like to be the kind of guy that provides wrong information and then, like, end up saying something that I don't 100% mean. I just feel like there's been a major problem with me lately when it comes to redoing commentary and stuff. Such as me saying summer projects rather than fall projects, for example. Oi. It's been something else, I tell you. Something else. Looks like I need to come around so I can get the locked door open. I'm actually kind of glad I redid this part after the annoying mic issues I've had, because I'm actually going through this portion a little bit faster. Because by the time I got the water on, it was time for me to end the video. Here, I'm only like halfway done with the video, so progress. Huzzah! This guy looks all kinds of hilarious. Puts a weird smile on my face every time I see him. But, alas, we must ignore him for great justice, because we cannot do anything about him at the moment. We need the item of the dungeon in order to do something to him. I was about to say dungeon of the item, kind of like another Let's Player did, but there I go, saying stuff I don't 100% mean. Why do I even have Ukra on still? Yeah, that's better. Gotta love the Gale Boomerang. Sadly though, I think like the items that you get from the first 3 dungeons are the most useful. Like, you don't really start to see like the Twilight Princess centric items until the second half of the game. But like, taking into account how much these items are used in comparison, it kind of seems a bit sad to me, honestly. I'll get to that as we move forward into the game. I mean, they are old familiars, but with a few interesting takes on them, I guess. But, like, I feel like one issue with, like, Twilight Princess, like, that I felt they could have done a little bit better is, like, taking, like, the dungeons use the items well, but, like, outside of them, I mean, like, the Dominion Rod, which is a weapon we get from a later dungeon, you rarely see any usage out of it outside of the dungeon you get it from. Just going into a general, like, overspill of what I think of the entire game, really. I don't know, it just kind of bothers me. Because, like, with most other Zelda games, you have practical uses for the weapons outside of the dungeons. And here, maybe you might find like 3 or 4 heart pieces, but that's about it. And like I was saying earlier, the second half's weapons are more guilty of this than the first. At least that's what I feel anyway. It's going to be a long dungeon, folks, so I'm trying to go ahead. I'm trying to like get some thoughts off my head right now so I don't forget it later. And let me go ahead and actually no, I don't need that, never mind. I think the red potion will serve me some good. Why the flip not? Is there a stalactite? No, there is not. Hold on just a second. Okay, just checking my audio stuff. Making sure stuff isn't going totally wrong. Because I can check that while I'm recording, and that's like one thing I really like about Audacity is the fact that you can like check and see like the wavelengths of like the audio. Because I can tell, like, just looking at the audio samples if something's going wrong or not, and I think that's really convenient. Getting technical on you guys, aren't I? But, alas, I think we're good in here for now, so let's go down here. Take a whole heart's worth of damage and see if we can do any other puzzles of the sort. Psst, calm down, Link. Alrighty, so what are we doing here? I'm getting the feeling that I might just need to go back to the main corridor of sorts in order to figure out what we're doing. We'll find out eventually, don't you worry. Don't you worry. Or actually, you know what? I think we can go ahead and just use these things and see what we can do in the meantime. I think over here is where the mini-boss is. Making fast progress already. Yep! That door over there is where the mini-boss is, but I think we gotta access it from another route. I'm trying to remember. Is that how this dungeon worked? Yeah, I do. But let's see if there's any hearts in here for our trouble. No, but we get a bunch of rupees. I'll take that with a grain of salt. Yeah, I'm making faster progress in this dungeon than I thought. Huh. I might just beat this within 3 parts or something, I don't know. But then again, I had that little bit of progress going for the previous part, doing like half of the dungeon from there. Well, not half of the dungeon, but like spending half the video's length and part of the dungeon. I didn't really do a whole lot, but I did something at least. Alrighty, so I believe over here is where we find a mini-boss. And with the key we have in tow, we can open this. Thank the high heavens I checked that area first, otherwise I would have wasted everybody's time. But next time we shall go into the depths of this water and fight the mini-boss, so I will see you guys then.